America is the gold standard of credit cards. The most points per dollar spent, the most cash back, massive sign-up bonuses, you name it, they have it. Now I already have two local American Express cards, a green card and a platinum card, but these are European. I only get 1 point per euro spent and the benefits are nothing compared to a US card. I went into the rabbit hole and figured out from A to Z exactly how to obtain a US credit card as a non-US resident. So in this video I'm gonna show you the exact step-by-step process to get approved for US credit cards, including the American Express Platinum or Gold card if you're a non-US citizen. This method is completely legal and fully working as of 2026. And to give you my starting point, I'm a Dutch citizen living in the Netherlands with a Dutch passport. I had previously never been to the US with no American visas. I also have no family living in the US. The only thing I already had was 2 Dutch American Express cards, but again these are local. So by the end you have access to the same premium rewards that Americans enjoy. We're talking about 4x points on ad spend, 6x points on groceries, massive sign-up bonuses worth thousands of dollars in travel, and access to exclusive airport lounges worldwide. American Express is basically the holy grail when it comes to premium credit cards, and today you're gonna learn how to get one. I'm going to walk you through a 5-step process that can get you approved for US credit cards with about 3 to 10 months depending on your starting point. Now I know that might sound like a long time, but trust me, it's worth the wait when you're earning 10 times more points than you would with your local cards. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get your home country Amex card to establish a relationship. Then, we'll set up your US infrastructure. That's your physical address and US phone number. After that, we'll get your ITIN number, which is like a social security number for non-residents. Then, we'll open a US personal bank account. And finally, we'll apply for a US American Express card using their global transfer program. Everything we're doing is completely above board and follows all the proper legal channels. Let's start with the beginning, getting a local Amex card first if you don't have it already. It's crucial to realize that when you're a non-resident, you basically start with the lowest possible credit score in the US. We're talking about 0 credit history. It's like you don't exist in their financial system, and in some sense this automatically makes it more risky for banks to take you as a client. But here's where American Express is different from other banks. They have something called the Global Transfer Program, which allows you to transfer your credit history from one country to another. So if you have an excellent payment history with Amex in Germany, the Netherlands or the UK, you can use that to get approved for a US card. And this difference is night and day. Without existing Amex history, it can be really hard to get approved for a card. But with Global Transfer, you could get approved for premium cards with much higher limits right from the start. So the first thing you want to do is go to your country's American Express website and apply for whatever card they offer. So currently I'm on the Dutch American Express site. From here I have these cards available. Personally I started with this card, which is the green card, which is free for the first year and then only €6.50 per month. This way you can still build your history. So for all the Dutch people watching, I'll leave a link down below, which is my referral link. When using that, you get a nice sign-up bonus. So simply complete the application process like you normally would. Make sure you provide your information and set up automatic payments so you never miss a payment. You want to build at least 3 months of perfect payment history before we move on to the next step. So use the card regularly, pay it off full every month, and basically show Amex that you're a responsible customer. This is going to be crucial when we apply for the US card later. Personally, I've been a client of Amex for 3 years and built an excellent credit history already, which really helped. Now, if American Express isn't available in your home country, don't worry, I've got alternative solutions that I'll show you later in this video. You can still get approved for US credit cards, you'll just take a slightly different approach. Right, so now we need to set up your US infrastructure, and the most important part is getting a legitimate US residential address. And I want to be really clear here, PO boxes and most virtual mailboxes will not work. The banks use verification systems that can detect these immediately. What you need is a real residential address that passes the bank's verification system. Now the best option is if you have friends or family in the US who can let you use their address. If that is the case, go ahead and do that. But if you don't have that option, just like for me, there are professional services that can help. The service that I used was physicaladress.com. Now technically, you could use any physical address provider, but you have to make sure that the address you select is marked as residential and not as commercial. If the address shows up as commercial, the bank will reject it. So before you sign up for any address services, you want to verify it's actually residential. For that, I use this website right here called Smarty. I'll leave a link down below, and I checked the address here. I got my address here from physicaladress.com, but not all of these addresses work. For example, this one in Dallas, Texas. Let's check it out together. I'm gonna copy this address. Then I go to Smarty, where I simply paste the address and click View Result. Then here we can see that the indicator flags this as commercial. So this is not an address we can use for this verification. Now, if I, for example, get this one in Wilmington in Delaware, let's copy this as well and also paste it in right here and also check it. As we can see here, it shows up as residential. So for this address, we could use it for the verification. So for whatever address you get, put it in the site to verify it first. Next up, you need a US phone number for verification codes and bank communication. Now you could try services like Google Voice, but I found that some banks flag those numbers as VoIP services. Basically, you need a number that banks consider true US numbers and not virtual. So in practice, you could buy a physical SIM card and insert it in your phone, but there's a better solution. The service I found and used is called Envio, and I'll leave a link down below as well. Now I know it looks very old school, but it actually worked. From here, you can simply add funds to your account. Then we can go to phone numbers and click order a new phone number. Then we can select the geographic phone number right here and then select the United States at the bottom. We can see we can make and receive calls through SMS and even fax. And here you can select your state. For me, I'm gonna select Delaware as that is where the address was as well. And then here you can simply search by city or area code and then claim your phone number. So here, 302 number, we got some phone numbers available, you can order it, and then you can also set this to redirect to your actual phone number in your home country. Alternatively, you also have Receive SMS Online, where you can rent a phone number in the US for a monthly fee. This also works, it's super easy, you can simply receive the notifications here. For this, I'll also leave a link down below. So great, we now got our phone number and US forwarding address set up. Now here's where a lot of people get confused. You don't need a social security number to get US credit cards. What you need is an ITIN, which stands for Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. This is specifically designed for non-residents who want access to the US financial system. The difference is an SSN is only for US citizens and permanent residents, but an ITIN can be obtained by anyone regardless of their immigration status. And important to note, an ITIN doesn't create any tax obligations for you as a non-resident. Now technically you could apply for an ITIN yourself directly through the IRS, but that would require you to mail your actual passport to them, which you should honestly never do. Instead, I recommend using a certified acceptance agent like the ITIN.com, which is what I chose to do. These guys are authorized by the IRS to verify documents without having to mail your passport anywhere. So let me show you how to do that. Again, you can go to the link in the description or type in buyhassle.com/theITIN. This then brings you to the homepage from where we can see the ITIN application, and here you want to fill in your full name and then click order now. Then you simply want to fill in your details right here, and here we have two additional services. We have Expedite My ITIN. If you're really in a hurry and you need this urgently, you could add this option. Then we have a US VPS, honestly not recommended, you don't need this. And then for the promo code, you want to open this and then type in hassle50 and click apply, and this is then gonna get you a $50 discount off the order. So from here you simply want to complete this and get your ITIN number. The next up, they're going to send you an application where you fill in your full name, your country of citizenship, where you actually live, and your contact information, and you want to upload a photo of your passport, and that's pretty much it. Now it takes about 8 to 14 weeks to obtain your ITIN, since that is how long it takes the IRS. Once the ITIN has been issued to you, the agent will then digitally send it over. Your ITIN will always start with the number 9, which is how you can tell it's an ITIN and not a social security number. Alright, so now that we have your US address, the phone number and ITIN, it's time to open a personal US bank account. This will require you to do an in-person visit to the US to go to the bank physically. The banks that are most friendly to non-residents are Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Capital One. You only need to make this trip once. I personally recommend starting with Bank of America or Chase because they have locations pretty much everywhere and their staff is generally well trained on working with non-residents. You can either make an appointment or just do a walk-in, but I'd recommend making an appointment to make sure they actually have time for you. When you call, just tell them you're a non-resident looking to open a personal checking account. Then when you go to the bank, you need to bring your passport, your US phone number, your email and proof of address. Now here's where it gets a bit tricky. They're going to want proof that you actually have a US address, as they're legally required to verify that you have a physical residential connection. Since you're using a physical mail forwarding service, you don't have a utility bill or other proof of address for that address. But here's what you can do. You can provide a private lease agreement. You can create a simple rental agreement template, and I know this sounds sketchy, but it's actually common practice. You want to create a basic month-to-month rental agreement showing that you're renting a room at your US address. Now I used this template right here by James Baker, who is a CPA also on YouTube, so all credits to him for this rental agreement. So thank you James, and I'll leave a link down below for this agreement. You can use a neighboring address for your landlord and make sure to use a different color pen for the signature to make it look more authentic. Set the rent at something reasonable for that area. I did $1,600 a month, which was a realistic number in the Delaware region. And the crazy thing is, most bankers barely look at this document. They just need something to put in their system to show you have a US address due to compliance. Once the paperwork is done, you'll need to make an initial deposit. Most banks require at least $100, but I'd recommend depositing around $500 to avoid any monthly maintenance fees. And just like that, you now have your own personal US bank account. The debit card will be mailed to your US address on physicaladdress.com, and you can then instruct them to send it to your home country by FedEx. This usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks in total. So great, at this part we have our ITIN number, a US personal bank account, a US address and phone number, and a local American Express card. Now it's time to apply for the US American Express card. This step applies if you already have an American Express card in your home country. If you don't have one, you can skip this step and go straight to the alternative method I'll show you next. But if you do have a home country Amex card with at least 3 months of perfect payment history, we can get our US credit card. So go to the US American Express site. As you can see right now, I'm still on the Dutch side. So all the way at the bottom, you want to click choose other country. And then here we want to simply select United States. Now we are at the right page, so we can click on explore cards. Here we can then see cards that are available for us. Now I recommend starting again with the simple card like the green card right here. This makes it easier to upgrade after 3 or 6 months and receive another bonus. So we can simply go to it and then click on apply now. From here you simply want to fill in your details, and right here at social security number you can see if you do not have an SSN, you can enter in your ITIN number, which is what we have, so fill it in right here. And more importantly, below this, we'll see the option already an American Express card member from another country. Here you want to log in to your local Amex account, as we can see there right. Log into your account to allow us to consider your international American Express account history so that we can better evaluate your application. Here they will ask some verification questions to confirm your identity, and if everything checks out, you will be approved. Here we can see more information about the global card transfer. Basically what we are telling is we're moving somewhere, we want to get a card of that other country. For us it's the US, so when we click on this, we can see exactly what they require for us, and that is exactly this right here. So we need our American Express account number, which we already have, the US address that we have, US home number which we have, US personal bank account which we have, and also the passport details, the ITIN number, and just general details about our employment. All of this is what we now have ready. Once you're then approved, the card will be shipped to your US address and then again forwarded to your home address by FedEx. The whole process again usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks from approval to receiving your card. Now if you don't have an existing Amex relationship or you want to build your credit score even faster, here's an alternative approach. Since you now have a relationship with your US bank, you can apply for a credit card directly through them. This is actually easier than most people think. You can either apply online or call the bank directly. When you apply, you use your ITIN instead of SSN, and you will provide your US address and phone number. You can also apply straight away when going there in person when opening the bank account. The bank will ask questions about your monthly income, like your salary, and also about your monthly expenses. Here you don't want to forget that rental agreement that you made earlier and calculate that into your expenses as well. Most people start with a credit limit around $500, but this will increase quickly as you build your credit history. Make sure to set up automatic payments immediately. You want to pay off your balance every month and never miss a payment. After about 6 months of responsible use, your credit score will typically reach 700 to 750, which will open up access to premium cards like the Chase Sapphire or American Express Platinum. Now the process I've shown you explains getting personal credit cards, because these cards give you the best bonuses for points, flights and more benefits. But if you're watching this, there's a high chance you're already running some form of online business, so you can also start looking at business credit cards. These cards often have even higher credit limits, plus they don't impact your personal credit score. I'll leave a link below to a video on getting these cards as well. Alright, so that's the whole process of getting US credit cards as a non-US resident the way I did. The whole process takes a couple months from start to finish, but the rewards are absolutely worth it. You'll have access to premium credit cards with incredible benefits that simply aren't available in most other countries. I've put together links to all services I mentioned in the video, the ITIN service, the address service, the phone number, and my American Express referral link. You'll find all of these in the description below. I'm also open to helping people personally, so I'll leave my contact details below in the description. Also, I read every single comment and do my best to try and help you out. So good luck with your application, and I'll see you in the next video.